Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leisha Jackson from FM Systems, and I want to thank you for attending today's webinar, Reduce Churn and Optimize Space Utilization with FM Interact Space and Move Management. Before we begin, I want to cover a few housekeeping items. At the bottom of your console, there are multiple widgets you can use. If you have any questions during the webinar, you can click on the Q&A widget at the bottom and submit your question. We will answer these at the end, but if we don't get to all of the questions, we will follow up with you after the webinar is over. You can expand your slide area by clicking on the Maximize icon on the top right-hand corner or by dragging the bottom right-hand corner of the slide area. An on-demand version will be available about 1 hour after the webinar ends and can be accessed using the same audience link that was sent to you earlier. Stay on the line. We have Brian Haynes, our VP of Marketing, and Hannah Graziano, our Applications Engineer. That being said, Brian, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Leisha. So I'm going to begin today by covering a little bit about who FM Systems is and some of our solutions that we're going to be talking about today, and that is our space and move management applications to help you understand how you can understand your physical space inventory better, as well as manage the transactions of moving people in and out of your space. I'm joined by Hannah today, who's going to be following up my slide presentation with a live demonstration of FM Interact, focusing heavily on our move and space management applications, as well as our new FMX reporting and some other really cool features. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So a few of the things that I want you to all understand about FM Interact is that we really believe that this is a new way of approaching integrated workplace management solutions. FM Interact is incredibly flexible and highly configurable. And what I mean by that is that we use a self-described data model, which means pretty much anything's up for grabs in the product. It can be highly configured and tailored to your unique specific needs. What Hannah's going to be showing today is the out-of-the-box functionality. But keep in mind as we move through this is that immense flexibility and configurability means that not only can the product be tailored to your specific workflows, but you can bring the modules on one at a time as you see fit. It's incredibly easy to use. We get the highest marks for ease of use in the industry, as rated by Gartner on numerous occasions. But easy doesn't mean it's a simple solution. Obviously, we know that your day-to-day workflows and facilities management are quite complex. We do a very, very good way of using user and role-based security, of ensuring that each individual user, based upon your role, gets information specifically designed for you and highly relevant, and allows you to be able to have this tool as your day-to-day facility tool for managing both your space and your moves. We also have seamless integration. Just about every one of our customers is integrated with something on the back end, be it their accounting system, their human resources system, for moving people in and out of the system. And also, we have a variety of hosting options, including hosting on-premise by you. You can host in our data center, or we have a SaaS model. So really, the product can be delivered to you in the way that works best for you. Okay, so FM Interact enables facility team members to access, update, and report on facilities, data, drawings, and models at your desk or in the field. Models refers to building information models. It's something else that we do in FM Interact. You'll notice that when Hannah begins demonstrating, it's a highly visual interface, via the reporting dashboards or through our highly interactive color-coded floor plans. We've got an immensely flexible and powerful way for you to be able to visualize all of your facilities information, including your space and moves. So FM Interact does consist of a number of modules, 11 modules at this point. We're going to be talking specifically today about space and move management module. We do have a few other modules that could enhance this process for being able to check where your people sitting or doing surveys. We've got our workplace surveys module. We've also got space reservation, which allows you to manage hoteling and room scheduling for people who are highly mobile. Those are modules we're not going to be talking about today. However, keep those in mind because they are tools that can help you manage your space and your occupancy more effectively. So a little bit about our space management module. We like to say every space counts. And if you've got all of your space in your physical space inventory right at your fingertips every single day, You're going to be able to identify and reduce vacancy, manage your occupant density in a highly visual interface. You're actually seeing a screenshot of FM Interact right there. Hannah's going to be spending some time in there in a few minutes. Keeping in mind that this is a tool for your entire Space and Move team. This is not a desktop tool. It's a tool that's out in the cloud. It's a web-based tool. As long as you've got a fairly modern browser, you're going to be able to take advantage of 100% of our functionality in the product itself without any plugins or anything required. Get to the next slide. So some of the features that we have: interactive facility plans. These are not just pictures, but you can take advantage of zooming in and out, selecting information, changing the data on the drawings, and it is bidirectionally connected to your AutoCAD and Revit model. So keeping those up to date and current is another advantage of the system. Being able to manage your entire physical space inventory, if you've got 1 million square feet, if you've got 100 million square feet, it really doesn't make a huge difference to us. We've got a massive relational database that runs on the back end that's highly secure and allows you to take control of your entire physical space inventory, managing your occupancy, allocations, chargebacks, and other related activities. We've got a brand new reporting tool that we're excited about. It's a business intelligence tool called FMX Reporting. Hannah's going to demonstrate that. It's something that we really love showing because the ability for you to be able to create reports in an ad hoc manner and schedule those reports for delivery directly through the web interface is really, really fantastic and quite exciting. In terms of our move management module, we're going to be talking about that today. We'd like to say it helps you make all the right moves. And imagine being able to move twice the number of people in half the time by essentially putting a process in place which allows you to be able to manage not only the people and the assets associated with that move, but do it through a highly visual interface, being able to create your individual or project moves right there on the floor plan and then manage the process around those moves, being able to track move costs and being able to get an estimate for how much those moves are going to be costing your organization. Keeping in mind that this is really the best way to manage transactions in and out of your physical space inventory. So where all of your people are sitting, by putting a process in place, you're going to be able to better manage churn. This is going to help you to avoid things such as opportunity moves. Those people who just get up from one space and move to another without any sort of formal process can lead to an immense amount of churn within your facility portfolio and your space portfolio. And by using our Move Management module, which is one of our most heavily used modules in our product, you're going to be able to better manage churn. Some of the actual specific functions and capabilities that we have in there: we do have our integrated reporting engine, which Hannah's going to be showing. I can't talk about that enough. We've also got drag and drop moves. This is a fairly recent capability in FM Interact in the last year, the ability to be able to drag and drop people onto a pallet or from one space to another, drag them, drop them onto a move pallet, move to a different floor, drag them back off. It's a really, really easy to use interface for managing that, and no CAD skills required, so you don't have to be an AutoCAD person. We can train you how to do that in 10 minutes and you'd be an expert. Also, support for single or project moves, which is really exciting because you can manage the sort of little day-to-day moving one person to a space, or maybe somebody's onboarding or offboarding, or maybe it's an entire restack. Maybe we're moving an entire department, or maybe one floor of a building to another building. Really, the flexibility and the configurability around being able to do all of that is something that we're pretty excited about. Now, for the most part, what you've all been waiting for is to actually see the product in action. I'm going to be turning this over to Hannah. Hannah is an application engineer here at FM Systems, an expert in using our product. And Hannah, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Brian.
Hannah, did we lose you there?
Okay, Brian. Are you able to hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You cut out for a second.
Okay. All right.
Okay, your screen's
As
coming
Brian
through now.
mentioned, there we go. Everyone should be seeing my screen now. As Brian mentioned, my name is Hannah Graziano, and I'm an application engineer here at FM Systems. And we'll be running through some of the space management and move management functionality today. FM Interact's Workplace Management Suite gives the users the ability to see and manage their portfolio on both a high level and close analytical ways. There's also many opportunities throughout the system to see the data in graphical or data-driven formats. Here we're looking at our dynamic map, where we can see where all of our locations are on a high level. If I hover over any of the locations, I can see additional details regarding that building. From clicking on any building, I can dive in to see more detail regarding that space. FM Interact's bidirectional integration with AutoCAD and Revit is what allows space management teams to see their data and ask questions about that data in a very powerful way. From clicking on any space, we can see additional details populated below, not only showing room information, but also occupant and equipment information. Users also have the ability to change the way they view their floor plan data by cross-hatching different layers. Here we're looking at a department's graphic theme, and we'll notice that a legend is populated on the right-hand side of the screen. We can also look to see who's moving into the building, where we have vacant spaces, and which rooms are already reserved. Users have the ability to create ad hoc graphic themes on the fly, which is a very powerful tool for being able to quickly ask questions of your floor plan and receive answers. We can turn on and off the different queries and see the legend and floor plan update accordingly. Maybe we'd like to turn off some of the text within the spaces. We can save these graphic themes on a personal or global level. Maybe it's a view that you feel would be useful for other users within the system. Additionally, the legend that's displayed on the right-hand side of the screen is updated automatically as occupancy numbers change or as space planners edit the data within the system. We have the ability to drag and drop the floor plan legend to any desired location on the floor plan. This is a great tool for oddly shaped floor plates or for printing and exporting in a better manner. We can do this on just the floor level, or we can apply the same legend placement to other floors as well. From here, I'm able to either export my floor plan as a PDF or print to a PDF straight from the web browser and never having to leave the system. In regards to move management capabilities, we can quickly choose multiple people by selecting the spaces. By right-clicking, I can either add these individuals to a move project, maybe an existing project, or a new project that I can create right from here. I can also create individual moves for these people. The space management team can also manage employee assignment directly from the floor plan by assigning, vacating, and dragging and dropping employees from building to building, or maybe from space to space within a floor. A great tool when you're walking the floor or need to make quick updates on the fly. You'll notice the details populated in my assigned rooms pop out over here, update, as I make these changes. Maybe I'm not sure where someone is located. I can easily bring them over here into kind of a holding place until I determine what their seat location is. Once I click Save, the information would be reflected on the floor plan and the vacant spaces or the reserved spaces would now be updated. Here we can navigate to a data view within the system. Data views give administrators the ability to update space information in a one-off manner by editing multiple records at once. You'll notice here that we do have some color coding. Here we're color coding on space type. However, we are able to color code on any data point within the system. I can quickly and easily filter down the way I'm viewing my space data. For instance, maybe I'm only interested in a specific building and maybe even a specific floor within that building. I can come in here and choose the appropriate filters, and then from there I would see that data reflected. If I select a space, I'll see additional details populated below. We can even zoom to a space to display it graphically on a floor plan. A great way to view your data in either a hard data view or floor plans. Additionally, FM Interact's powerful reporting engine provides business intelligence into your space portfolio by allowing you to see trends and identify areas where efficiency can be improved. Here we're looking at a report showing occupancy by building, giving me different details regarding the occupancy and capacity within each building. A very powerful feature is the ability to change the way we view the data. Maybe I'd like to view this in a pie chart as opposed to a bar chart. I can even change it to be displayed in 3D. I can hover over any of the data points to see additional detail. Or maybe I'd like to choose it over here from my legend. And we'll then see it populated in the report. Allowing us to quickly find answers regarding our space data. In this example, we're looking at a location map and then additional details regarding our locations. We could even filter this list down to show only locations in a certain country, or maybe we only want to see locations that are above a certain amount of gross area. That could be achieved here as well. Maybe we'd like to see our building list with a map and a bar graph. Here's an example of a report that could show that. Totaling up the different sites and areas down below to show hard data. Great feature of this reporting tool is the ability to export these reports to PDF or maybe send them in an email. There is a scheduling tool that allows us to set up schedules, maybe a recurring schedule, that I would like to receive this report in my inbox on every Monday morning. Really giving you a lot of power over the way that you can consume your data. So now I'll turn it back over to Brian for questions.
Thank you, Hannah. That was great. One of the questions that's come into the queue is asking whether or not we can actually see all of the individuals in a project move in a list view. Is that something that we can show? Great. So now Hannah's going into the project list view. Here we go. Exactly. That's in the Move Edit Planner. So those moves that were being created on the actual floor plan itself show up in the move planner, which then allows us to be able to see a more granular view of all of the participants in this move, as well as assign them their from location, their to location, the scheduled move date, and the scheduled time, and whether or not each steps of this move is in process. It also allows us to be able to manage the tasks, including things such as having the boxes moved, IT and connectivity, any furniture that may be associated with it. Does the person being moved have ergonomic requirements? And then actually a formal move process can be associated with that as well. Okay. The next question that I have coming into the queue, can it recommend a move for a space? It doesn't actually recommend a space, but it will show you the spaces that are available for a move. So we can look at, for instance, our vacant space report, or we can also look at it in a color-coded floor plan, identifying vacant space very quickly. It does allow you to be able to look at space types and space standards so that you can identify who's moving to that space and whether or not that space does meet their space standard. It does have that capability, but it won't actually recommend a specific space over another if they all meet those specific requirements. So Hannah right now is looking at the vacant and reserved space. So it also does this. It will tell you if the space is vacant but does have a scheduled move that's going to be going into that space. Obviously, you don't want to just assume because a space is vacant that it's going to be vacant forever. If there is a projected move in date, we do highlight that on the floor plan. So there's a lot of intelligence that's flowing to the floor plan and to the reporting itself, but it's not using, it's not doing any sort of AI or anything where it's actually recommending a specific move space. She's showing another graphic theme here, the move in and move out, the number of rooms that are already reserved for moves. Being able to configure these views based upon your specific unique needs is actually quite simple. Okay, here's a good question, Anna. Do floor plans update live as CAD drawings are saved? Well, it depends. I'll go ahead and answer that. So floor plans, in terms of data, they do update live. So that is bidirectional. If you are making geometry changes in AutoCAD or Revit, let's say you're removing walls, maybe you're restacking the floor, doing a conference room renovation, those floor plans won't be live in FM Interact until you hit the publish button. So data live bidirectional, geometry changes, you have to publish those changes. Here's a question: Does FM Interact contain data on the building system, such as HVAC and lighting? Absolutely, Hannah. I think probably the best way to show that is to just go ahead and click into a mechanical or a lighting room view. The zones HVAC view is another good one. I think that's HVAC zone showing all the spaces serviced by specific zones. I like the mechanical plan is a good one to show. If you pop that in, we'll be able to zoom in and take a really close look at the amount of information that's available. So as we zoom in here, yeah, absolutely. Not only are all of the assets available for things such as work orders and preventive maintenance, but being able to see the entire piping plan, your entire HVAC plans, MEP plans, whatever lighting plans, whatever you want to have and have available in your CAD drawings, absolutely, we can do that. And I think we're just about out of questions in the queue. If you've got questions, we're going to be online for a few more minutes, and we'd be more than happy to go ahead and show those. Hannah, this has been fantastic. I hope everyone has seen the really powerful capabilities of FM Interact, the ability to be able to not only contain your data in the system with a high degree of integrity, but also the ability to be able to visualize it in a number of different ways through color-coded graphic views on the floor plan, being able to export that to a PDF. It goes far beyond just people. It's also all of the equipment, assets, furniture, fixtures, anything that you want to track in the system, being able to have that available on the floor plan. Our new FMX reporting tool, being able to produce quite easily, actually, those really beautiful reports that Hannah was showing earlier. You can do the training to get up and running on being able to produce those reports in a couple of hours. And actually, all of that report development is done right in the web browser. There's no desktop tools. There's no plugins required. It all streams to the browser, incredibly powerful. Everything Hannah was showing, we can show you how to do very quickly and easily. All right. Question here, do you have info pricing on additional licenses for FM Interact? Absolutely. We'll reach out to you to discuss your specific needs, and we've got a very easy to understand pricing model. We'll be able to provide that to you. So if anybody's got questions on that, we'll send that over to you. So here's a question. I see multicolored spaces on the plan. Are those achieved via the data, or does that require multiple polygons? What you're probably seeing is the ability to be able to patch the space based upon multiple departments occupying the space, for instance, or maybe multiple departments assigned to that space. And that does not require multiple polygons. It actually divides that based upon the percent assigned to each of those individual underlying departments. So you could probably see that. That's right, that one big space there to the right. That's actually broken down by percentage, and you're able to change that percentage on the fly, and it will automatically recolor the floor plan. Really great feature. There's a question here, do the mechanical plans update? Well, they do update if you update the mechanical plans in your CAD plan or your Revit model, and you republish those plans. It's a pretty simple process to be able to do. We really believe that the best place to maintain the actual geometry in those mechanical drawings is in the authoring tool, that being either AutoCAD or Revit. As you make those changes, really super easy to push those changes back out. So yes, as well as all of the information associated with the asset. Bidirectional. So, you may have chillers, you may have all sorts of equipment in your HVAC system. We can track all of the specific details about all of that equipment and the product itself. So Hannah's turning on the lighting plan there, the ability to be able to see all of the equipment that's actually allocated to that space, the ability to be able to zoom to the location of that, as well as the ability to change that information on the product as well. Highly configurable. So we are right at the half hour. I'd like to thank all of you. If you've got additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us directly. We have recorded this presentation, and it will be available for your colleagues who maybe were not able to attend for one reason or another. Actually, Hannah, if you could stay online for one last second, we've had a question. If you could, is it possible for you to open AutoCAD and show the process of walking through publishing the drawings? I'm not sure if you're still there, but if you can do that, Hannah will probably have to open AutoCAD up here really quickly and show you how we handle that. But for the rest of you, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We absolutely want to respect your time. We're going to be wrapping up here in a couple of minutes. I think Hannah will be able to show this pretty quickly. So here's one of our buildings. As a matter of fact, it's the building that she's been demonstrating. All of the information in this drawing, it's quite a complex AutoCAD drawing with obviously dozens, if not 100 layers there, as well as all the mechanical, everything. But as we make those changes, you can simply push that change out through the republishing process. It's actually quite easy. You'll see on the upper left-hand side, there's a little icon that says publish. The ability to be able to, once you make those changes, you feel good about them. We'll publish. Not only do we publish, but we audit the drawing. So if spaces have been orphaned or if assets have been, for some reason, removed, we run that audit. We'll let you know so that you can keep your database in FM Interact highly synchronized and create the data quality at a very high level. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. Hannah, thank you so much. And Leisha, I believe that's it. We can go ahead and finish the webcast.